I'm 99% maxed at Town Hall 16, and this is how I'm going to be preparing for the new update. With Town Hall 17 possibly right around the corner, I wanted to make a video showing you guys how you should prepare to make the most of the new update. But this video isn't just going to be a guideline for this particular update, it's going to be a guideline for all updates that we might get in the near future. This video is also going to be helpful for all Town Hall levels because I'm going to be breaking down tips and tricks you can use at the lower Town Hall levels for brand new content updates. From builders to magic items, the lab, the pet house, and equipment, we have tons to get through in this video. However, if you're watching this video and you love the ins and outs of the game and the game balance, then that might be a sign that you're interested in game development. And that brings us to this video's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. SNHU has a 4-year degree program that literally lets you study anywhere because it's all online. This is a program that will help you learn a multitude of coding languages. If you're looking for an alternative degree or you're looking to learn game development from a university that cares about gamers, trust me, this is the one. As is made clear by their new state-of-the-art esports arena, a luxury that most schools wouldn't even consider investing into. When you think about game development, there isn't one general career path that everyone follows, but with a degree you could not only learn the skills necessary to be a developer, but also have the credentials to back it up. Guys, a 4-year degree that could kickstart your game development career is convenient, affordable, and within your reach. But don't just take my word for it, visit the link in the description or visit snhu.edu/bdlegend to go ahead and talk one-on-one with a representative that will help you decide whether or not this program fits your unique situation. And once again, thank you so much SNHU for sponsoring this video. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about how Town Hall 16 should be preparing for the new update. The first thing you absolutely need for the next update is to make sure that all your builders are available the moment that the next update drops. Now, I don't know for sure when we're gonna get the new update, but we'll probably get some sneak peeks and other trailers to confirm the date later on. However, during this time, hopefully with Hammer Jam, you guys can push a ton of those upgrades that you would have to get done normally, and hopefully you get a lot closer to max, if not maxed, by the end of the event. At the moment, with Hammer Jam going on, if we do get a new Town Hall, I would expect it to be somewhere towards the end of that event. But for those of you who still have a little bit of time to go and you're not necessarily at the point where you're max Town Hall 16 yet, I would make sure that you have at least these upgrades done on screen right now. That way, if we do get a new Town Hall level, you'll have all the upgrades that are necessary to get there on day one. One tool that you should be using, especially during this time, is the Builder Potion. This magic item will help you get some of those key upgrades that you need to get done out of the way, and then on top of that, it'll help you get some hero levels done as well, so you'll have stronger heroes moving into the update. Now, speaking of magic items, you want to go ahead and stack as many books and hammers as you possibly can. This is because if we get Town Hall 17, it will likely have some longer upgrades, so you're gonna get tremendous value by using these magic items on those upgrades. With regard to obtaining hammers, if you're not buying builder potions right now to completely super boost your progress because you're maxed or higher level or whatever, I would recommend that you go ahead and buy hammers right now so you can avoid the 7-day cooldown once the update actually comes out. Also, you want to keep an eye on the offers shop because you can buy and stack magic items from there. Now, as I mentioned in my Hammer Jam video, I don't always recommend that you buy all the offers or something like that, especially in this second wave of offers with the book offers that we have. They're not really that great. But we did see some really awesome deals at the end of last month, which I made sure to analyze for you guys on the community tab. That being said, make sure that you keep an eye on the community tab for future deals because I will be analyzing every single deal we get in the shop and telling you whether or not it's worth getting. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the lab. Now, most players probably don't have their lab maxed out, but I would highly recommend that you have the armies that you use maxed. This way, if you do decide to go to the next Town Hall level, or if the troops that you're using do get another upgrade, you can simply just add those on when the update drops. Just make sure that your lab finishes up right when the update drops, so that way you're not going to be wasting time waiting for your lab to complete and you can use the lab on day one. Next up, with the pet house, since we don't have an extra slot for the goblin researcher or the goblin pet researcher, you just want to focus on upgrading your main pets. But once again, like the builders and the lab, you want to make sure that it's completely finished by the time the new update drops. This is because if we do get a new pet, you'll have to make a decision between upgrading the new pet versus upgrading the pets that we already have. Now let's go ahead and discuss how you should prepare with your equipment. With a possible new Town Hall or at least a big content update, there is always going to be a chance that we're going to get a new piece of equipment. This is why players at Town Hall 16 should be saving as many ores as possible right now. And even if that new equipment isn't that great, or you just don't want to invest into it, you can still spend your ores later on since there is no time component to upgrading equipment. So bottom line, save those ores for the time being. With that being said, let's see whether or not the gold pass is worth it for maxed players. Now, since you don't really gain anything from the time reductions, you might be thinking I would never buy the gold pass and I'm not going to get it. But to be honest, if we do end up getting a new Town Hall this month, I would actually recommend buying the gold pass. And it's because the value you get from the magic items alone is great. So pairing that with a new Town Hall means the books will come in handy for the new upgrades that you want to have done immediately. But if you're still not convinced, I would just say sit and wait because you can always buy it later on. Now with that, we've covered everything you'd want to do as a max Town Hall 16 to be fully prepared for the update, but I also want to cover what the lower Town Hall levels should do to prepare for a new update. First off, you really want to make sure that you have all the core upgrades that you need to get done to go to the next Town Hall level. This is because let's say you're at Town Hall 11 and a new feature comes out at Town Hall 12. You might want to immediately get to Town Hall 12 to get access to that new feature and that new content. I would also advise having at least 2 builders open for when the new update drops, even if you're a lower Town Hall level. Similar to when the blacksmith was originally added, lower Town Hall levels might get a new building or something like that, so we really want to make sure that we have those builders open. Speaking of things to be ready for, we often have big time reductions for big content updates like this one. Now of course I'll cover all of this if the time reductions do come out, but generally the time reductions are biggest 2 Town Halls below the newest Town Hall. So if we get Town Hall 17, then the time reductions would mostly be at Town Hall 15. With regards to magic items, you should be saving your hammers and books similar to what I said with Town Hall 16. Using smaller magic items like builder potions or research potions is completely fine, especially during Hammer Jam. However, you don't want to use those bigger magic items if we're anticipating that we might get some time reductions, because those buildings you're upgrading might get a lot shorter very soon. Let's use last year as an example. Last year, I would actually tell people to use magic items on 14-day upgrades. However, after the massive time reductions we received in December, I actually told people to start using magic items on 12-day upgrades or more. Now moving back to the lab for lower Town Hall levels, you should absolutely prioritize the armies that you're actually using or intending to use. This way, if we get newer levels on those armies, you'll be able to add those levels onto the troops you already have. For the pet house, if you already have your pets unlocked, you should be investing into your main pets since those are the ones that are probably going to be used in your attacks. And finally, once again, with regards to equipment, you should be saving your ores. I mean, it literally cannot hurt you except for just waiting a little bit to spend those ores, but it could give you a big upside, especially if new equipment is added to the game. So with that being said, we've covered not only what you need to be prepared for this update, but also what you need to be prepared for future updates for all Town Hall levels. But this video is kind of pointless if you don't know how to maximize what is arguably the best progression event of all time in Clash of Clans, which is why you need to watch this video right here, where I completely break down how to maximize Hammer Jam and get the most out of this once in a lifetime event.